Hello folks, and welcome back to Mashin' Metal. Today we got a list of sorts for you. We're going to be going through the best album openers from 1970 to 1974. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk album openers, or the lead-off track, whatever you want to call it, the first song on an album, which kind of sets the tone for the album. It kind of gets you into the album, hopefully. Should be the goal of the first track, to kind of get you pumped up about what's coming. And in a recent live here on Mashin' Metal, which we do Saturday nights for those of you that do not know, we were talking about album openers and some great ones and some ones that were not so great. And that got me to thinking, well, what are some of the better album openers that are out there? And then I thought, well, let's go through each year and see what are the better album openers from each year in the hard rock, heavy metal genres. So let's go ahead and get into it. And so the way we're going to do this is we'll have 3 honorable mentions for each year and then a winner for each year. The song that I think is the best and the heaviest. All right, so let's go ahead and get into 1970, the year that, hard rock, heavy metal really became a thing. So honorable mention number in third place, let's say, is Lucifer's Friend, Ride the Sky, off the Lucifer Friend self-titled album. And, I think this is one that kind of gets lost in the mix. Came out right around the same time as Sabbath, but you never hardly hear anybody talk about Lucifer's Friend. And there is some good songs on this album, but that lead-off track is a good one. So if you have never heard it before, certainly worth a look. And also, the album cover, pretty sinister looking, gotta say, for 1970. Next up, though, we got Sir Lord Baltimore, Master Heartache. And another, pretty heavy track for the time. Again, this is all 1970, folks. And, again, certainly worth a look. Interesting album cover for sure. And there are some pretty good tracks on the whole album. So the whole album's kind of worth a listen just to kind of refresh yourself of what it was like back in 1970. Next up, though, we got Black Sabbath War Pigs is our top honorable mention. And the only reason this isn't number one is because of what number one is. A great lead-off track for sure. One of the better lead-off tracks of all time, maybe. Certainly in the metal, hard rock genre. And, Sabbath just setting the tone for what metal would become, for sure, with their first 2 albums in 1970. But now to our winner, and what else could it be? The song that kind of made metal exist. There was no metal, and then there was with this song, Black Sabbath, off the Black Sabbath album. That's kind of redundant, but nonetheless, man, this song is so heavy and dark, and really even on this album, it's one of the darker songs. It's just, there was no metal, and then there was, thanks to Black Sabbath. What a great track, and what a creepy album cover. Yeah. Next, though, 1971. Honorable mention in third place, we got Budgie Guts. Certainly a heavy track, a good one. Budgie, another band that doesn't get talked about a whole lot, but, kind of pioneers of the metal genre in their own right. And just doing some great stuff early on, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Budgie. Next, though, we got Mountain, Don't Look Around. Just some great guitar work here, heavy guitar. And a lot of these are firmly in the hard rock category for sure. We probably wouldn't call them metal, but they're getting there. They're starting to work their way towards metal for sure. And Mountain, great job from them. Next up, we got Uriah Heep. Another band that you hardly ever hear about, doing Look at Yourself. Of course, that album was a mirror, so yeah, look at yourself. Man in the Mirror, all that kind of stuff. The solo, especially on this song, Look at Yourself, is very heavy, very just certainly pushing towards that metal sound. And good on Uriah Heep for, carrying the flag there in 1971. But last runner-up, we got Bang, Lions, Christians. Another band that you hardly ever hear about. In fact, it's even hard to find this song on like streaming services. I had to like look it up on YouTube to even find the song I was looking for. Nonetheless, Lions and Christians, great heavy track from Bang. Certainly they were influenced by Sabbath. That kind of shows on this song, and just a great hard rock track. And then, of course, our winner. What else could it possibly be? Again, Sabbath taking the win in 1971 as well, because Sabbath just kept putting out killer tracks year after year in the early 70s. Black Sabbath, Sweet Leaf, what a fantastic lead-off track, of course, off of Master of Reality. Just a killer album, killer track from Sabbath, and again, just setting the tone, the bar for heaviness. Now, though, on to 1972, we got honorable mention number 3, Captain Beyond, Dancing Madly Backwards, which is a weird name for a song, but the song is pretty freaking heavy, gotta say. For the time, Captain Beyond, doing some solid work there on the guitar especially. Honorable mention number 2, Scorpions, I'm Going Mad. And you know, Scorpions, one of my favorite bands of all time as far as in the hard rock category. I don't really know if this song is metal, but there's certainly some great guitar work on this song. And you know, Scorpions just a killer band all around. Very talented guys. Next though, our runner-up, Deep Purple, Highway Star, a classic song for sure. And Deep Purple, another one of those bands early on, just carrying the flag for hard rock and heavy metal, just setting the tone for what metal would become for sure. We have, you know, Ritchie Blackmore, of course, to thank for all those great riffs that we love so much. But then the winner, what I thought was the heaviest song of 1972, Alice Cooper, School Is Out. And man, you know, when you look back at that time period, how everybody was dressed compared to Alice Cooper, picture on screen here, that would still pass as a metal look today. No one else looked like this. For reference, here's a picture of Ozzy in 1972. Not very metal at all. He kind of looks like you should be in a Cowboys and Indians movie or something. I don't know. And nothing against Ozzy. Ozzy's great. But Alice Cooper kind of setting the bar for the metal look, even back in 1972. And School's Out is a pretty heavy track as well. And plus he sounds so metal on this track. He sounds like metal vocals of the future. So good on Alice Cooper for kind of giving us the look that we would see going forward, and also, kind of the sound as well to some degree. Yeah. Alice Cooper, 1972 winner, School's Out. Now, on to 1973. Honorable mention, Nazareth in third place there. Raz a Manaza, which is a weird name for a song, but there are some heavy riffs in this song and just some great guitar work. And Nazareth, again, one of those kind of pioneers of the genre, the hard rock, heavy metal genre. Nazareth doing some great stuff. Next up, we got Uriah Heep, Dreamer. Again, Uriah Heep, a band that hardly ever hear about, but man, they had some really heavy songs early on that were actually pretty good to listen to, and just setting the bar, you might say. And then runner-up, this time Sabbath not taking home the win. There are runner-up in this one, and that is Black Sabbath, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and just another amazing track from Sabbath. Very heavy, very dark, but not our winner, because the winner is a song that I think maybe not enough people know about. Now, of course, Metallica has covered this song, and that is Budgie Bread Fan. And man, talk about like ahead of their time. Like the riffage in this song is, so Bread Fan, Metallica cover, and they didn't do a whole lot to change it. We're really pushing into the metal territory here with Bread Fan. I don't love the vocals from Budgie on this song, but musically very solid and pretty freaking metal. All right, now though, that's our winner for 73. 1974, which will wrap up this half of the decade, the 70s decade. So before we get into our last year, 1974, let's talk a little whiskey here. Today I am drinking a little bit of Wilderness Trail Rye, and it is a good one. Let me tell you, I'm just going to get a sip here to wet my throat before we get into this last year of hard rock heavy metal. And folks, I hope as you're watching this, you too are enjoying a glass of something special and enjoying this review. But now let's get into our last year of this video, 1974. Honorable mention number 3, Deep Purple Stormbringer. And man, look at that album cover. That is a great album cover. Fantastic stuff there from Deep Purple, and a great song for sure. Again, Deep Purple, Ritchie Blackmore, just killer riffs and great guitar work, as always, as you would expect. Our next second place there, second runner-up, I should say, Judas Priest, One for the Road. And, of course, coming off their first album, they weren't really into metal territory yet, but they were certainly hard rock. And, of course, in the next few years, they would kind of become the standard for what metal would be. But they weren't quite there yet with this track, but still a solid one. And our runner-up in 1974, Budgie, In for the Kill. Another great song from Budgie. Just, man, great guitar work. And, yeah, what else can be said about it? Budgie, underrated, not talked about enough, good stuff. And our winner, maybe unexpected, but Queen, Brighton Rock. Now this song starts out soft, I will give you that. But at 1:45 in this song takes a hard right turn right into metal. And man, Brian May just shreds his butt off in this song. Good Lord. It's like a 3-minute guitar solo, and he's just shredding like crazy. So if you've never heard this song, certainly worth a listen, especially the guitar work on this. Just, again, raising the bar for what would become metal. So great on Queen there. Our final winner of the first half of this decade, the 70s decade, which is where metal really kind of started to form and become the great thing that we all know and love. And of course, here soon we'll have 1975 to 79, the latter half of this decade, the great decade that would become metal. But that's it for this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please go ahead and hit that like button. We appreciate that. Also, here's other videos from us about metal and all that good stuff. Here's the subscribe button, so please do that. And until next time, folks, just remember, always drink plenty of whiskey and rock on.